How the hell did we go from Zach Galifianakis, Humpty Dumpty the Egg to this guy? Welcome back to Villain Review, and today I'm reviewing the wolf from Puss in Boots 2: The Last Wish. Make sure you subscribe because new Villain Review every single Monday at 15,000. Gus from Breaking Bad, pretty cool.
Because Puss in Boots laughs in the face of death, right?
I think Puss in Boots 2 is one of the biggest film surprises we've had in a while. I didn't even know it was coming out or that it existed until a few months ago, but the one thing I kept hearing everyone talk about when it came out was that the villain was awesome. I'm kind of a skeptic though, so I was saying, okay, sure, yeah, Puss in Boots is gonna have a good villain. What the fuck? If I'm gonna get into his motivation though, I need to talk about some spoilers, so spoilers, go watch the movie. So this wolf isn't just a wolf, he's death, like straight up. Tired of seeing Puss live his 8 lives recklessly and without any fear, he decides enough is enough and that he's gonna wrap up Puss's career a little bit early. Talk about a scary motive, because whenever you're going up against death, it's impossible to win. It's so great though because it ties into the story, themes, and Puss incredibly well. The motive helps make him interesting, but it's also important to the story, and I think that's part of the reason it works so well. It might not flesh out the wolf itself a ton, but it helps add to Puss and who he is as a character, so I'd say it serves its purpose. Talk about a scary villain too, but also a villain who's just straight up cool. I feel like we don't get any of these kind of villains anymore, maybe because movies are worried about scaring kids away, but it's such a nice change of pace for a lot of the kids movies I've seen recently. Also, it makes sense for him to be a more intimidating villain because one of his main roles in the movie is to scare just the living shit out of Puss. And it works even better because there's an actual threat. Sometimes villains in these kids movies they want to get money or power or something simple like that. But Death's goal in this movie is to not only murder Puss, but to have as much fun as he can while doing it. That's some dark stuff. They never really compromise him for a dumb joke or anything like that, and I'm so happy, and I respect how consistent the tone is throughout the entire film. Personality-wise, he's great, he's ruthless, he's always insulting Puss and just toying with him throughout the film. He's so overpowered, and it helps add a lot of tension to this movie. Because whenever he shows up, I'm just like, Puss, you gotta get out of here, man. This guy's gonna slaughter you. Like if I was out in public and I heard the whistle start playing, I'd be a little scared, not gonna lie. Wagner Moura is also great in the role. He brings something to the role that adds a lot of intimidation, but also sometimes a nonchalant tone that makes him an even cooler character. The design also slaps. I love how big he is compared to Puss, and those bright, just red eyes that lead to so many cool and creative shots when contrasted with a lot of these darker atmospheres.
I just love the smell of fear.
Unfortunately, really my only complaint with the wolf is that he does not get a whole lot of screen time, only about 10 minutes, but damn, does he make every scene count. The first scene, the first scene, the timing and just placement of this scene is amazing because it complements the film's opening incredibly well. In the opening, we see Puss live without fear. He's cocky and careless, and even with that, he takes down this big Shadow of the Colossus looking dude, and he makes it look easy. It's not like he just took down a little kid, he took down a small level kaiju. And when you follow that scene up, you have to give Puss something to really be scared about, something that the audience as well can be scared of for Puss. The wolf's introduction is just that. He's overpowered and incredibly intimidating because he defeats Puss with the same ease Puss took down the giant with. He doesn't just defeat him either, he freaking humiliates him. It's so bad. When I saw it, I was thinking, it's literally going to be impossible if Puss defeats this guy. It will be a legit criticism of the movie if Puss is able to come back and kill him, because no main character should get a buff that big. It's like an Elden Ring boss fight to where it almost just doesn't seem fair. Puss is traumatized, I'm pretty sure I was too, and a great introduction to set the movie, Puss's character, and every theme in motion. Hell yeah. Great scene. For the middle of the movie, he's pretty absent but remains strong in presence. You know he's coming for Puss and he could show up at any moment to kill him, and the overarching shadow he cast on the film makes him have an impact even when he's not on screen. You can feel his presence like just in the air. The scene where he scares Puss away from the fight, one of the coldest scenes, if not the coldest of the entire year, freaking amazing. The scene in the middle though, when he reveals himself to be Death, is also pretty good, but I want to talk about the ending. I'm a pretty big fan. Thank goodness he doesn't get beat in this fight, and in a way, he kind of gets what he wanted. For his entire life, Puss didn't value his life because he had so many and only fought for the fame and attention and everything that came with it. But by the end of the movie, Puss fights for his life, probably for the first time ever. The threat isn't falling out of grace with the public, but instead, it's actually dying, so it makes sense to me how he does so much better in this final fight. But like I said, I'm glad the wolf doesn't lose this fight and instead leaves Puss alone because he now values his life. A great ending for the movie, both of these characters, just the perfect way to hammer home the themes, as well as giving us just a damn good fight.
Go ahead, run! Firing makes it more fun for me.
Dude is evil in the sense that he doesn't play fair, and I kinda like it. It's cool to see an embodiment of Death have emotions like frustration and pettiness. Puss still has a life to live, but Death doesn't really care. He wants to take him by force. It's messed up, it's unfair, and I really like it. It makes him a lot more menacing as a character. It always does wonders for a villain when they actually enjoy the process of killing their enemies because it makes them a lot more evil. You can tell he's been looking forward to this day, and he's going to make the most of it. He's evil but still reasonable, and I like how he ends the film. He's petty but not a hypocrite, and when Puss changes his ways, he lets him live. He has character flaws, and for the embodiment of Death, I really like that. Also, like, he kind of wins. I mean, he kind of gets what he wants in a way, so I always like that. The one thing holding Death back, the one minor criticism, in my opinion, is his very limited screen time, but he has enough presence in the movie to never feel absent or forgotten. Every one of his scenes is awesome though, and I love how his motive is so perfectly woven into the fabric of the story on all fronts. He's a great character, the performance is cool, and he's by far, the scariest villain of the DreamWorks filmography. A lot of people say Fairy Godmother is the best DreamWorks villain, but honestly, this guy's way better. I'm going to give the wolf a 9.
I've enjoyed the chase, Gato. But I think we've reached the end now, you and I.
Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe. New villain review next week. It's gonna be pretty good. See you later.